Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm very excited to be at the Camping Caravan and Motorhome Show 2022 at the NEC, because normally I'd be here every year, but I haven't been here, of course, because of COVID for 2 years. But this show is going ahead. It's sold out, so if you haven't got a ticket, don't come. But over the next few minutes, I'm hoping to show you some of the highlights of the show. So if you have missed out on getting a ticket for the show, just watch this video. Now, I've just walked into the show, and this is the first new model I've seen. Weinsberg's Pepper Edition has been with us for quite a few years, and it's a bestseller in its home market in Germany. But this is the first time Weinsberg has built on a Mercedes chassis. Prices start at just under 70 grand. This one is a little bit over 73. But the great thing about a Pepper Edition is that you get loads and loads of spec as standard. So the Mercedes comes with a big MBUX display on the dash. You get your alloy wheels, your awning, even TV and satellite dish on the roof, all as standard. And this latest Pepper Edition is just a little bit longer and wider than the Fiat version at 6.91 metres long. And you've still got that really super-sized garage, 1.24 metres high inside, so plenty of room for all your stuff. And this is on a 3.5 tonne chassis too. Now, there's just one layout for the moment on this Mercedes Pepper Edition, the 640 MEG, which gives you twin single beds over the garage at the back. At the front, it's the usual half dinette arrangement. Kitchen has these lovely big drawers, tall fridge freezer, and then opposite in the centre of the van, you've got a washroom with a separate shower and a neat sliding wash basin. And here's another new model from the Knaus Tabbert group. And again, it's not on a Fiat, perhaps showing the move away a little bit from total domination by the Fiat Ducato. Now this time we've got the MAN or MAN TGE chassis cab, and it's the basis for this new Knaus Vansation Wave. Again, just under 7 metres long. And this one's slightly dearer than the Weinsberg, 74 grand pretty much in round figures, or 77 grand as you see it here. The MAN though is the sister van to the Volkswagen Crafter, and it's my favourite base vehicle to drive at the moment. With this 177 PS engine and the 8-speed automatic gearbox, it ought to be an absolute joy on the road. And it's not too wide either. Look how the cab and the body are almost the same width. Now, like the Weinsberg, this new Knaus should have actually been launched at Stuttgart, but that show was cancelled. So this is the first time most people will have seen this model anywhere in Europe. Of course, in the UK, it will come with right-hand drive rather than this left-hand drive as the prototype, and you'll get the automatic gearbox as standard in the UK too. The layout, again, centre washroom and kitchen, and a half dinette lounge. Well, more of an L-shaped seating, a bit more comfort in this one, and a little perch here. Not much of a seat, but certainly somewhere to put your feet on. Again, you've got twin single beds over the garage at the back in this Vansation. But the big difference here is that this isn't the only sleeping area. There's also a drop-down bed over the lounge. The washroom's a little different too, because you've got a swing wall arrangement in this model, as well as a bench cassette toilet. From Italian brand Roller Team is this new T-Line 700, the latest addition to the T-Line range. And it's quite significant because it's got a very British layout, although of course it's built in Italy like all roller teams apart from the campervans. It's just a fraction under 7 metres long, and it's got front and rear lounges and a drop-down bed at the front as well. Priced at around 65 grand, this roller team also has an unusual or relatively unusual feature for a rear lounge motorhome. Look at the amount of storage back there. That will beat a lot of other layouts like this. You can banish any thoughts of roller team being a budget brand these days. Look at it with this sort of half faux leather upholstery, looks rather swish. Nice lighting in the drop-down bed, and this sort of marble effect on the table. Well, looks rather grand, doesn't it? To cater for UK tastes, not only have you got a 3-burner hob and a combined oven and grill, but this tall fridge freezer with a separate bottle compartment below. But the star feature, of course, is this rear lounge with a second drop-down bed above. Lovely and spacious, big windows all around. It's just a shame the seats are a bit high. From one Italian van to another, and this time we've moved up market with an A-Class, the latest addition to the Mobile Vetta Chaot range. This is the Chaot 59, and the big news is, well, it isn't big. It's only 5.99 metres long. Now, how much for this little A-Class? Well, it's 91,495, based on the 160 bhp Fiat Ducato with the 9-speed automatic gearbox. It's on a 4.4 tonne chassis too, which means that you've got a fraction over a tonne of payload. They've completely restyled the front of this Mobile Vetta, so you certainly won't mistake it for any other A-Class on the road now. And the other thing you'll notice is that unlike most other A-Classes, the habitation door is on the UK side. So let's go in and have a look. Inside, it doesn't feel like a 6-metre van, does it? Bear in mind, a lot of van conversions are longer than this today. Just look at the amount of space you've got. Well, part of that, of course, is the full-width A-Class cab, and part of it is the fact that this layout doesn't include a fixed bed, because your main bed is this drop-down above me in the cab. Behind the lounge area is an excellent kitchen. You've got this nice Thetford induction hob with 2 gas rings as well as the induction ring. Underneath that, duplex oven and grill. Even little details like this hanging rack, perhaps for your kitchen roll and so on. And then over on the other side, a supersized 149 litre fridge freezer. But perhaps the most important part of this layout is the washroom across the back. Now, look at it, you've got a nice separate shower with 2 drains, bifold door, plenty of room in here, even a wardrobe, and that's got external access too. We won't dwell on this one too long because I've already done a full review, which many of you will probably have watched. But the Autosleeper Air is making its show debut. If you haven't seen it, or you're interested in a campervan of this size, take a look. And if you're looking for a Ford campervan, you'll look in vain, I'm afraid, for the new Swift Monza at this show, because Swift aren't here. Or are they? Because this is a Swift Monza under another name. This is Loudon Summit, built by Swift. It's an enhanced dealer special version of Swift's new Ford-based campervan. The first time we've seen a Swift badge on a campervan of this class. And considering, or especially considering, that this is Swift's first entry into this part of the market, they seem to have done an exceedingly good job. Now, part of that is using the right components. The top quality SCA rising roof from Germany, and also from Germany, this Rymo sliding seat system, which has seat belts and head restraints for 3 rear passengers. It's at a comfortable height too, much more comfortable than the rival RIB seat. And then the kitchen looks rather funky with this sweep of worktop at either end, nice curves there. And the practicalities are right too. Storage for a portable toilet, a nice slide out drawer style fridge, and even a bit of extra storage in this slide out at the end of the unit. So how much for this Ford Summit? Around 60 grand, and that includes the metallic paint, solar panel and diesel heating. And if you're looking for a Ford campervan, here's something slightly different on the CMC Hembill stand. Yeah, it looks like your traditional side kitchen campervan if you're at the other side. But notice that there's a second sliding door. And the reason for that is that this kitchen can also be used outside. How clever is that? And before we move back into some bigger motorhomes, you need to see this. Hidden down the back of Hall 5 is this Ford Transit Custom from Campervan Co. So why am I showing you this one? Because it's a hybrid. It's based on the hybrid Ford Transit Custom, which has a petrol-engined range extender to give you zero range anxiety. It'll do 26 miles on electric power alone, they say, but when that runs out, the range extender means you're not stranded. Of course, the Kon-Tiki name goes back to the very first Swift motorhome back in 1985. And this one is an all-new product for 2022. It's always been Swift's flagship, so we can't underestimate the importance of this model. Let's see if we can get a look inside. You can certainly appreciate the space in this big 9-metre motorhome. Look at the size of the lounge. And there's a lovely rake to the backrests on these settees. Huge overcab sunroof. And doesn't it feel swish in here? Swift have certainly given the Kon-Tiki a very fresh, modern look. And this one's got an island bed layout too, with a height adjustable bed over the garage. Forward of the bedroom is an ensuite with the toilet on one side and a separate shower on the other. Not sure about all those steps around the toilet though. Last but definitely not least, this is new from Coachman. Coachman is a big name in British caravans, but they haven't done motorhomes before. Now we've got 3 of them here, the Travel Master range. All on Mercedes-Benz with an Alco chassis, 4.5 tonne gross vehicle weight, and there's 3 layouts. A French bed at 7.6 metres or roundabout, and 2 that are just over 8 metres, an island bed model and one with twin singles. So inside the Coachman Travel Master, we're very much at the top end of the market. This island bed model retails at just under £110,000. Mercedes chassis, 4.5 tonne, as I said, and you've got this side settee lounge, so a nice open feel at the front of the vehicle, although these settees do convert into travel seats. And if you're surprised to see Coachman coming into the motorhome market, well, perhaps I should let you into a secret. These vehicles are built by Caravan in Sweden. Now, I've just bumped into a Swedish journalist colleague of mine, and he tells me that you won't beat Caravan's heating and insulation with any other motorhome. And this vehicle is not, though, just a Caravan with a Coachman badge on it. It has been completely redesigned for the UK market. I'm told that the layouts are quite different, the design is quite different, and of course you've got UK features like this domestic style cooker with the mains hot plate. So if you're looking for a top-end motorhome on a Mercedes chassis, here's a new one for you to look at. If you are at the show, of course, don't forget to pick up the latest copies of Campervan, What Motorhome and MMM.